Hello and welcome to the Buttons and Beans Gaming channel, where we are always on the hunt for new games to add to the always changing and always growing game collection. It's been a little minute since we did a pickup video, but we haven't really had many pickups, at least not this many in one time. But I was in Las Vegas this past weekend, had some great success at a bunch of pawn shops, so I figured we'd take a look at the games that we picked up, talk about which ones we're going to keep and add to the collection, and talk about the ones that we're going to list in an attempt to recoup some of those funds that we spent out there this past weekend. Be sure to subscribe to the channel, very close to 2,000 subscribers. So I appreciate that. Hitting the thumbs up, sharing, commenting, all of that helps out the channel. So make sure you do that. Let's get into these games. Let me figure out what my first stop was so I can maybe do these in order. Where are you? Here you go. So the very first, let me turn around, the very first pawn shop that we went to, we picked up Devil May Cry 4 for the PS3.
Did you want your receipt?
No, I'm fine. Thank you.
Have a good day.
You too. Appreciate it. Just leaving the pawn shop and paid $1 for this Devil May Cry 4 on the PS3. No manual, but the game's in pretty decent condition. Can't really beat it for $1. I'm looking to add more games to my PS3 collection. I had a bunch of PS3 games and I ultimately sold them all off. So now I'm back to collecting for it again, the ebbs and flows of game hunting. So to start out my day of game hunting at pawn shops with a $1 find is always a good thing. Something a little funny happened, and this is partially, probably all on me. I like to take accountability even when I probably shouldn't. But I went to another pawn shop and picked up a couple of things. First thing I picked up was this PS5 DualSense in the, I think it's the cobalt blue or something like that. Crazy color, really clean, and they were asking $45 for this. I ended up picking this up and grabbed a couple of games that they had in the case, and they really had a nice kind of my style of game hunting. All the games were just on a bucket on the floor, so I just had to sift through them and figure out what I wanted to pick up. Good, how are you? The dig. Always fun. So many copies of Overwatch.
Oh, you gotta watch it. Alright, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Yeah, I'll see you guys in progress. Appreciate you. Have a good day, everyone.
Funny thing happened when I was leaving. I recognized I was talking about, my score, my find, and I found that none of these games were in the case. All right, just leaving the pawn shop. We ended up paying $48 for this controller that they had marked at $45, Cyberpunk 2077. and Titanfall 2. Now we have both of these games, but I need the cover and the case for Titanfall 2, so I picked this up, asked them, well, hold on. My idea was, let's see if I can get a good price on this by bundling with this. We have both of these games already. I just need the case and the cover for Titanfall 2, but you know, whatever. And Cyberpunk 2077, excuse me, I think I'm going to drop off to my cousin, and I'm glad I just checked because there's not a single game inside these cases. Let me go back inside. The cases are empty.
Oh, my fault.
All good.
Yeah, we keep them back there. Sorry about that.
All good. Appreciate you. Okay, so now we paid 48 bucks for these 3 items. 2 games that we already have and a controller. And if my cousin is around here, I want to drop this off to him because he hasn't played this and I've been stressing that he needs to play this. So I'm gonna get this over there. But I think it was an honest mistake. I don't know. You let me know in the comments. Did he try to rob me or was that an honest mistake? I'm leaning towards honest mistake. Next pawn shop I stopped at had a bunch of games, controllers, but ultimately the only thing I found that I wanted to pick up was Mafia Definitive Edition. Mafia Definitive Edition. That might be something I need to pick up. Definitely want to get that new Doom. Doom Dark Ages is probably a day one pickup for me, but pretty sure we may have that Doom already at the house. We'll check the GameFly app to see about that one. I definitely need that Mafia Definitive Edition. Alright. Steam Deck 350. Anything else we're picking up? That's sick. 200? Nikon. I'm gonna look that up. That's sick. Look at this. I'm getting that controller right there. We just picked up a PS4 a while back, a few weeks ago, with that controller. It's actually like about a $40 controller, so we're gonna pick up that 5 for sure. Oh, and I need to ask them, make sure it's not broken, because for $5 it seems like a pretty good bargain. Alright. Damn, here they have a PS3 backwards compatible. They're asking $250. There's a white PS4 Pro right here. I had to look that one up. The only thing I found that I wanted to pick up was Mafia Definitive Edition for the PS4. With this, it is marked. They had it for 10 bucks. I asked them if there was anything they can do. Maybe they can do it for 5. Initially, the guy's like, oh, let me see what I can do. And as he said that, one of his co-workers, she was struggling with this big telescope that she was trying to put up on a shelf. And I heard her yell, Mike. I'm assuming Mike was the guy who was helping me. But I turned around and I see this telescope just kind of hanging by a thread. So I grabbed it, put it back on the shelf, or helped her put it back on the shelf. As soon as I did that, the guy says, hey, just for that, $5. So helping people pays off. Be nice, be kind. Not because you might get a discount, but hell, shit, it's the right thing to do, man. Be nice to each other. The hell's the point of being mean and angry and frustrated all the damn time? I'm veering off the topic of games, but seriously, be kind. Not because you might get something in return, but because it's the right thing to do. And you might get something in return. I have been on let me get the sticker off of here, a controller kick lately. I really just I just want different controllers, different colors for whatever reason. So to find this one, very excited about that. Now I also found 2 more controllers, which made my effing day. I'm not going to hold you. 2 Zelda Nintendo Switch Pro controllers. I think this is the Tears of the Kingdom controllers. And to find both of these at the pawn shop really is like as crazy as it sounds, kind of like a completion of a grail that I didn't know was part of the grail. And let me explain to you why. These controllers go with, or, you know, kind of in line with the Tears of the Kingdom Nintendo Switch. that I also found at a pawn shop that was on my grail list. So happy to have this, and even, I mean, not happier, but happy again to add the 2 Zelda controllers to the collection. I got to figure out a way to display these bad boys. I'll figure it out, but they look so nice and they go so well with the Switch. We're gonna have to make that happen. Let me tell you about this pawn shop. I believe it was a super pawn, and they opened at noon. And when I pull up, it was about 11:56, and there's a line, like damn near to the parking lot. Maybe 12 to 16 people in line. I've never seen a pawn shop have a line before. So when I walked in, I'm thinking, oh man, this is about to be a terrible experience. But it wasn't. Everybody who was in line was doing pawn shop business, selling stuff. So I wasn't in there long. And when it was my turn, I asked the guy, hey, will you do 30 for both? He says, let me go ask my manager. He comes back nodding his head and he says, we'll do 20. So I got both of these for 20 bucks. I think they go like 50 a piece. Great score. Amazing find. Didn't expect that at all. This is the third, I think this was the second or third stop of the day there, but we picked up 3 games, paid 15 for the pair. Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy. South Park, The Fractured But Whole, which is just the wildest title, bruh. And Minecraft with the VR. I already have both of these games as part of the collection, so we'll get these listed, and my hope is that we'll recoup a few bucks. Like if I can sell them for 10 a piece after shipping and fees, I'd be a happy guy. So we can get 20 bucks back. That's a good day. Minecraft, I don't usually play. I never play, and I don't usually keep. I usually sell Minecraft whenever I get it. But I do know that the VR mode is a little bit of an exclusive, not exclusive, but worth a little more than just a regular Minecraft. I think it's like 20 to 25 in comparison to like 15 to 20. So this one, not because it's worth more, is a reason for me to hold on to it. If anything, it's a reason for me to sell it. I might hold on to this one for a little bit because it's not a game that I have, and I really am trying to collect games for the PS4. If I don't have it, I want to keep it. If I do have it, then a double, and I'll sell it off like these other 2 over here. So Minecraft, we will likely hold on to at least until I change my mind. Another PS3 game that we picked up, Mod Nation Racers. It does include the manual, and the game is in really good condition too. At the same pawn shop as Mod Nation Racers, and I paid $8 in total for both of them. And it's NBA 2K12 on the PSP. This one actually has some value. It's worth about 14 bucks loose. This is the second to last NBA 2K on the PSP. NBA 2K13 is the very last NBA 2K on the PSP. So if you find NBA 2K13 on the PSP, or if you have it, maybe hold on to it because that one's going to continue to go up in value. Paid $8 for these. In fact, I paid like $7.85 because I had $7 in cash. And I was like, let me run to the car and get $1. And he said, hey, if you come close, just whatever you have in there. So I came back with 80 something cents, and he was like, that's perfect. So we paid for that. It's little, we'll call it $8 for that. 15 bucks for Minecraft, which we will maybe hold on to. South Park, which is a copy, so we're definitely going to list that one. A double, we'll list that one. And Crash Insane Trilogy for the PS4, which is another double that I just pulled off of my shelf, so we're going to list both of these. 15 for that, and we paid 48 for Titanfall 2, which again is a double, but I need the case, so we're going to keep that one. Cyberpunk 2077, this one's for my cousin because I need him to play this game, so we're going to give him that one. And we paid this controller, this Cobalt DualSense PS5, the 3 of those items, 48 bucks. And I think that was it. Yeah, Mafia, we paid $5 for Mafia. $1 for Devil May Cry, and 20 for these 2 Zelda Nintendo Switch Pro Controllers, which for me, the controllers, the 3 of them, are the find of the day for me. Find of the trip, I will say. that's going to do it for this week. Thank you for taking the time out to watch. Again, be sure to subscribe to the channel, hit the thumbs up, like, share, comment, all that good stuff. We're going to organize these things here, get some stuff listed, and we're going to go back to game hunting at some point. So make sure you turn on the bell for notifications so you can be notified when the new video drops. Until next time, be well, take care of yourself, be kind, and all that good stuff, all right? Gone.